Hello, I'm Dr. Sam Hancock, the President and Executive Director of Emerald Planet and the Emerald Planet TV, come to you from Washington, D.C. and the United States. As we look around the globe in 144 different nations, looking for those 1,000 best practices, the technologies, the services, and the products that are making a difference as we move through the 21st century. And as we become more dependent on the internet of everything, the cloud, all these other technological advances, at the same time it opens up great vulnerabilities to run our societies. And so we have three people that are sitting here with us that are coming all the way from the state of Israel to talk about the cybersecurity and how to actually make the Internet of Things very safe and to allow the Earth to go forward as far as the development as we add 2 billion new people to the people on the planet. Sitting right beside me is Dr. Gabriel. He goes by the nickname of Gabi.
Yes.
Siboni is head of cybersecurity program. Hadas Klein is the cybersecurity forum manager, and Daniel Cohen, all the way at the end, a research fellow, and they're with the Institute of National Security Studies. And welcome to the Emerald Planet.
Hi, Sam.
Glad to have you. Thanks for traveling so far to be with us.
Thanks for having us.
Gabriel, tell us a little bit about what is the Institute for National Security Studies.
The Institute is an Israeli-based think tank that is focusing on the resilience of Israel and the national security of Israel by improving the discourse, the discussion on strategic issues. And we have a variety of issues that we are dealing with, and we try to provide policy papers for our decision makers and also for the public. And amongst them is the cybersecurity program, which I had, and we're dealing with how to improve cybersecurity, both policy, both technology-wise, and to make sure that the discourse and the discussion in the state is more knowledgeable and more sound. And
also, too, is how this fits into the world schema as far as protecting the internet and everything that's going on as far as the cloud and all that. Hadas, you're unique, being a lady and involved in all of this. What are some of the information technology tools that are being used to make sure that everything is protected and have no interruptions as far as the grid and all other aspects of information technology?
Generally speaking, cybersecurity, it's not only about tools. It's mainly about strategic issues, meaning we're dealing with defense by being able to have early warnings, be able to predict cyber attacks, be able to prevent cyber attack, be able to react and recover on time. So in order to do this, we have to have a lot of intelligence. We have to gather information, we have to analyze the information, and then we have to have information coming from different sources, from the outside world, like cyber threats and so on, from the inside a corporation, like a SOC, Security Operations Center. We have information coming from a DLP, from Data Leakage Prevention System, and so on. Then we take all this information, we fuse it, and in order to be able to see the big picture, in order to be able to have a better situational awareness.
Mm-hmm. Daniel, looking at this, as we know that they say maybe World War III is going to be fought in cyber, not through bombs and missiles and tanks and all this. But one of the things that's most vulnerable, of course, is the basic infrastructure. Water, energy, food, all these other kinds of things. So how does that fit into the studies that you're doing at the Institute, and what kind of tools or what kind of processes are you using to make sure that the basic infrastructure is protected not only for your own country, but for all surrounding nations?
First of all, I'll start with all surrounding nations. We're talking about sharing of information between them and working together and building trust. Trust also from information. For that, you need good intelligence and good capabilities to defend yourself and to share it with others. On the Israeli side, we started pretty much early because we are threatened by our enemies on the cyber issues also. So already in 2002, the Israel Security Agency started to protect the critical infrastructure, including the energy, water, and every other thing that you said, like gas and others. But there is a gap that we analyzed in our institute, that is how to protect the civilian sector. Because critical infrastructure is not necessarily what we drink or how we drive or what we eat. It's also our finance, it's also the media, because media has a lot of impact about the civilians. So how you protect that? So in Israel, the Prime Minister office decided a few months ago to establish a cyber authority, national cyber authority, that will protect also the civilian side. It's a big step, and Israel is always like a bit ahead of the others in the re-establishment and establishment of the cybersecurity. And I know that a lot of countries are looking now to see how it will be implemented in Israel and to see what they're going to step. Now in US also there is now talks about how to do it right, because there are a lot of organizations that are involved in it, and there needs to be something that can coordinate between them.
That's a really good point. Gabriel, if I can follow up on this statement that Daniel just made, I think this is critical, is how do you protect the assets of the country itself, but also it's a very dear thing about how do you protect the citizens. How do you bring collaboration? Because as Daniel was saying, there's many different agencies that be involved. You have NGOs within the communities, defense and all that. So how do you mesh all of this together?
Yeah, first of all, you know, when there are people, you've got a lot of politics and you've got ego, and we have plenty of those, as you know.
Not in Israel. I don't believe that. No,
yeah, we
never.
have plenty of those. We can export some to the United States. So there is a big challenge in Israel to try to coordinate between various organizations, and there is some inherent problems that we try to deal with. And cybersecurity is a good issue to look at, because we have so many organizations that are dealing with this, and this is a big challenge, I will tell you. I won't tease the audience with the details of the challenge. Let me just say it's a substantial challenge in Israel.
Yeah, it's a substantial challenge, but you know, through your institute, I know this is something that you really focus on and you work on, is this collaboration.
Yeah.
How do you see collaboration being really almost an asset or a tool as far as being able to protect the country, but also the citizens and critical infrastructure?
So collaboration of information, this is the basic thing. And when you collaborate information on cyberspace, it means that you collaborate information on attacks that had, and collaborate information on how you prevented these attacks if you succeeded to prevent, and you help your colleagues, other colleagues. So if competing banks may collaborate on what happened to them in cybersecurity, they will be better secure altogether. So that's creating trust between competing entities. That's one issue. The DCOI, I don't know if you would like me to mention it now, because DCOI conference, the Defensive Cyber Operations and Intelligence Conference that we are holding now in Washington, D.C., is just for this very reason, to make sure that we try to collaborate, because cybersecurity does not have any borders. And what would be more natural for Israel, at least from our side, to do it together with the United States. Mm-hmm. So we love you guys, and hopefully it's reciprocal. So we are having this cybersecurity, and we're dealing with these very issues. It's critical national infrastructure. We're dealing with how to protect the financial sector, how to deal with the advanced cyber technologies that are advancing now, because you know this classical cyber defense tools are no more effective. And how to deal with intelligence in cyberspace, and also with strategic issues. So this is what we did, and we look for this
It's a broad platform.
Yep.
Hadas, looking at this cooperation between Israel and the United States, and we're looking at it more than just the cyber aspect, but basic infrastructure, how you work on that together and develop of that, and then also to extend this as we go towards 2050. What do you see as some of the tools, the methodologies that are being used through your institute to collaborate, but also to plan for the future?
Gabi had mentioned the DCOI, so this is a very good beginning of collaboration. As Gabi said, and you know, as everybody knows, the internet is a global thing, right? So you need to approach the internet security, the cybersecurity, in a global way. we believe that the only way to enhance cyber security is by collaborating. Firstly, private and public sector. This is locally, and then between states. This can be done with discussion platforms and intelligence sharing of information and so on.
Daniel, looking at the threats, both state and non-state actors, you know, we kind of think of it's nation to nation, but anymore it's really the asymmetric aspect of this is in some ways the most dangerous and the most unpredictable. So how do you look at that and determine, you know, what path to follow, or you just have to take everything as a broad blade in front of you?
In the Institute, we're trying to take the tools, offensive tools against us, and to put them in what is a strategic tool, you know, like physical damage or something simpler that can be used against us. But then we see an example of a hacking group from Syria attacking the website or the Twitter of the White House and planting a message that the president got shot or something like that. And you see Wall Street fall in that day. They did something really simple, but I think that we are not able in our days to really understand and identify the effect that social media, cyber environment, you know, all of us look on our cell phones every 5 minutes to check emails or to see the news. And it has such an effect on our culture that even a simple tool being used by a terror organization can create a real damage against us. By saying that, we still need to remember that there are also states involved. And they're not only states, but there are states that sponsor terror also. And they can use them as proxies to do attacks against us. And to use the effect that they don't have any attribution to being taken of it, because it's cyber. You not always know who is behind it, and 99% of the time you don't know who is behind it. So states can use terror organization to do it. And there are a few states that developed real effective offensive cyber tools that are being used against other countries. We see it in finance. We saw a steel plant getting blown in Germany 2 months ago. So the evolution is going to more and more sophisticated.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you very much for being with us. Thank you, Gabi, for being here.